Hey everybody, welcome back to dansfarah.com. That's Dan Sfarah, just like my name. You should see it right here. It's D-A-N, S like Sam, F like Frank, E-R-A.com. I told you guys I'm going to be talking about books that I read, or that I'm currently reading. And right now I'm reading a book called Cheaper, what is it exactly? Cheaper, Faster, Better, or Faster, Better, Cheaper, something like that. It's a brand new book that came out I think December of 2010, and it talks about, and I'll get the exact name, the exact title, and I'll actually put a link to it on Amazon for those of you interested. I'm reading it on my Kindle. So far it's fantastic. I'm about 40% through it. One of the things that I'm starting to think about doing, specifically for my businesses that I run, is implementing processes. And the book is pretty much all about changing the way you get work done, meaning not just doing whatever you feel like doing, but actually having processes and having reasons behind why you're having processes. So that sounds kind of confusing, and it is. Let me give you an example. There's things called outcomes, which are, an example of that would be me saying, I'd like to increase revenue. Okay, that's called an outcome. I'd like to increase revenue. I can't just do that by waving a magic wand, right? So I gotta backtrack and see exactly what it is I have to do in order to create that outcome. What the things that I have to do are called drivers, right? So in the example of increasing revenues, which is the outcome, the drivers could be a number of things. Could be increasing sales, which by the way is also kind of an outcome. So you gotta have to go even behind that to see what the driver is for increasing sales. It could be increasing your advertising, acquiring new customers, closing sales better, having the right stock in your store, or whatever it is that you do to meet the demand, which remember we talked about before. So those are called drivers, things like that. So you can't just say, I want to increase revenues and wave a magic wand and hope that it happens. Each outcome has a driver. So in the case of increasing revenues, the driver would be attracting more customers and perhaps having more customers actually buy from my company rather than just look and go somewhere else. So those are called the drivers. And behind every driver, once you identify a driver, you got to install a process or a system in order to allow that driver to efficiently take place every single day automatically in your business. And a lot of this goes back to the other book I reviewed on my blog called The E-Myth. So just something to think about. Obviously you want to think about what you want, which are the outcomes. I mean, I don't know anyone who wouldn't say I want more revenue. Those are the outcomes. Think about the drivers that would result in those outcomes. And then once you find those drivers, make sure they're the right drivers and find a process to help those drivers take place every single day. I don't know if that makes sense. And we'll get into a lot more of this later. There's ways you can measure the drivers through metrics, and you have to have specific metrics, not just the metrics that you want or the metrics that you know you'll do well on. So there's a lot. We can go very deep into this topic, and we will. So stay tuned for future posts on dansfarah.com. Thanks a lot.